Hello everyone, Space Oyster here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. In the last episode, I assigned everyone a secondary job and talked about some good and not so good combinations for you to consider for your own playthrough. In this episode, we'll finally be continuing on with the story.
Such a tremendous honor to again be graced with your presence, Majesty. You left us with such great dispatch upon our last encounter that I must confess I had begun to worry that we may have given your Majesty some cause for offense.
Such a heartfelt display of remorse. Now what is it you want?
I want you to give me the Nethicite.
The Nethicite?
That is a base imitation. We seek Wraithwall's legacy, the ancient relics of the Dynast King. Day-affected Nethicite. Did you not tell them, Captain Azalus?
Majesty, he speaks of the Dawn Shard. That is the Nethicite.
Are you mad, Vossler?
If we are to save Dalmasca, we must accept the truth. I will fight this profitless battle no more.
Captain Azalus has struck a wise bargain. In return for the Dawn Shard, the Empire will permit Lady Ash to reclaim her throne, and the Kingdom of Dalmasca will be restored. Think on it. An entire kingdom for a stone. You must admit, 'tis more than a fair exchange.
And when all is said and done, your master will have another pet.
Lady Ash, let us take him for the people of Dalmasca. Your Majesty wallows in indecision on peril of their heads. And his shall be the first to fall.
Well, at least your sword is to the point.
To think the relics of the Dynast King were day-affected Nethicite, Dr. Cid will be beside himself.
What did you say?
Captain Azalus, take them to Shiva. They should have leave to return to Rabernaster soon. I want you to assess its power.
Did our orders not specify that we return the stone for testing?
I will not chance returning with a stone that is yet unproven.
When we return to Dalmasca, we can announce that you are alive and well. I will then continue our negotiations with the Empire. I believe Lars has the key. He'll listen to us. We should trust him.
Who are you, Vossler, to talk of trust?
A son of Dalmasca.
Our equipment here is limited, so we'll be using the ship's drive to make our assessment. Once we've connected the stone, the reaction should be easily measured.
Methods do not interest me. Only results.
Fran? Such heat! The mist, it's burning!
6,800, 6,900, 7,000! This must be deifacted nethicite! The count still climbs!
Ah, we found it at last. True day-affected nethicite. The power of the Dynast King in my hands. Blood alone does not an emperor make, Vayne.
What is this? Something's wrong!
What is it? You stand!
Hold her down!
What's wrong with her?
I always knew Fran didn't take well to being tied up. I just never knew how much. How about you?
I like Fran's idea. Let's get out of here.
No farther! Sky Pirates, the future of Dalmasca will not be stolen. Why do this, Bash? This struggle is futile. You must know where it leads.
I do know. All too well.
Alright, so we have a boss battle here, and it is going to be against Captain Ozelus. And just for jits and shiggles, I'll go ahead and show off our summoning. Also, one thing to consider for this boss fight is if you're playing as Fran, or if you have Fran out, she's actually under the, let's see, what's it called? Berserk status effect. So if you rely on Fran for healing, I would recommend using someone else just for this battle. It shouldn't be too bad, and you should be able to get by on items if Fran's your only healer. Anyway, yeah, I figured I'd show off how Espers work too. For the most part, they're not going to be as useful as using your own party members, but there are situations where having a Esper around will be very awesome. Plus, they get very flashy moves like this one. They did upgrade the Espers, so as you can see, they're playable now, and they're controllable. You don't have to wait for the conditions to be met for them to use their attacks like this. But they still have all the same problems as they did in the base game, in that you're essentially replacing two party members for one, and that one party member is nowhere near as versatile.
Engine power falling rapidly. Each negative, impossible.
Engine room, this is the bridge. Report.
What are they doing down
what's
there?
happened.
The nethicite's draining the ship's power!
Disengage it at once.
I want that
We're
number
trying to
3
get
unit
it out.
seal. Let me
Infected. Challenge critical in 300. Cascade failure.
Ash, let's go.
All I have done, I've ever thought of Dalmasca first.
I know you do. I would ne'er gainsay your loyalty.
Look on what my haste has wrought. Did I act too quick? Or was your return too late? I can serve her no more. You must take up my charge.
us now.
Is that what you call this?
What's that? I think it's the Dawn Shard.
And what are we waiting for?
The dreadnought Leviathan is sunk. The 8th Fleet of the Arcadian Imperial Army lost. As word of the events in the yacht sounded throughout the Empire, quit I Bujeba, citing sudden malady. My true motive, to bring the various counter-imperial forces scattered throughout Ivalice together in unified resistance. By this time, Lady Ashe had made her return to Rabernaster. She had not, however, made known her presence. Rather, she was content with keeping both her own whereabouts and those of the Dawn Shard concealed. She had chosen, therefore, her people. My error in announcing her suicide would be known, to the great detriment of my efforts to assemble a resistance. In such circumstance as the Lady Ashe then found herself, even were she to proclaim Dalmasca restored, it would serve only to invite the Empire's wrath. Though Arcadia had lost her 8th Fleet, she remained, as ever, a military power with which to be reckoned.
The Rosarian Empire assembles a vast host under guise of martial exercises. It is our belief they wait for the proper pretext, the sooner to make their strike against Arcadia.
The loss of Leviathan and her fleet at such a time comes as a most grievous blow. Were Rosaria to invade, the battle would be hard fought. Had Lord Vane not deployed the fleet so capriciously, we would not now find ourselves in such perilous circumstance.
Lord Vane shall be made to answer for his actions. It is the will of the Senate. Excellency, though he be your son, justice must be served.
A convenient thing, justice. And so I must now make a choice between my throne and my son.
A most lamentable situation for us all.
Oh? For Lord Vane, perhaps. Yet surely Lord Lauser will make for a fine emperor.
Lauser so adores his brother, and he is yet young.
But he will not remain young forever. Already he busies himself unraveling Lord Vane's tangled skein. Lord Lauser has found his role to play and pursues it with some enthusiasm.
Ah, yes. And who would set him at such tasks?
What matter? Lord Vane himself once saw his elder brothers brought to like justice, did he not? At your Excellency's behest, as I recall.
You may put yourself at ease, Lord Gramis. So long as the Senate watches over her, Arcadia's well-being will ever be ensured.
By your will, I shall bid Vane return to Arcades.
So, it was the Dawn Shard that brought down the Imperial fleet.
You know your stuff.
Destructive power of such force. I've seen it once before. Lady Ash, you know of what I speak.
Nabudis.
The capital of Old Nebradia, Lord Rassler's fatherland. At the time of the invasion, a division of Imperials entered the city. There was a mighty explosion. Friend and foe died alike. Something was there. One of the Dynast King's relics. The Midlight Shard was in Nebradia.
More Nethicite. Well, no wonder they invaded.
That ridiculous war. The trap at the treaty signing. All this because Vayne wanted power. He must not be allowed to claim the Nethicite. The Empire must never hold it.
Oh, they already do. The Dusk Shard, most likely the Midlight Shard too. Besides, can't they manufacture Nethicite now?
Very well. Then the path set before us is clear. We'll use the Dawn Shard to fight them. Dalmasca does not forget kindness, nor ill deed done. With sword in hand, she aids her allies. Sword in hand, she lays to rest her foes. This Nethicite I hold must be my sword. I will avenge those who have died. And the Empire will know remorse.
You even know how to use it?
The Garif may know. The Garif people live by the old ways. Magicite lore is a part of their culture. They may hear it, the cry of the Nethicite's power. Whispers of the stone's menace.
Dangerous though it be, what we need now is power. Should we declare Dalmasca free without the means to defend our claim, the Empire would crush us. You must take me to meet with the Garif.
They live beyond Osman Plain.
Not exactly close.
Compensation, is that what you want?
Straight to the point, aren't we? I like that. Compensation. How about the ring?
This? Isn't there something else?
No one's forcing you. I'll give it back to you as soon as I find something more valuable.
What do you mean something more valuable?
Hard to say. I'll know when I find it. What is it you want, Vaughn? What are you looking for?
Me? What am I looking for? I guess... Well, you know...
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
The Garif are said to dwell in Kirwan.
So they do. We'll need to head south, past the Giza Plains.
It is the rains now in Giza. The wadis will be swollen with the deluge. Passage may be difficult.
But those same waters may also lay open new routes to us.
Regardless, we must go south, yes?
First things first. You're eager to be on your way, I know. But we should see that we're prepared before setting out.
I made my resolve 2 years ago. I swore to overcome any hardship I may face.
Man cannot live by resolve alone, Princess.
Alright, so finally all the cutscenes are over with. Pretty story-heavy section. Before we get going to meet with the Garif, I'm going to go through a shopping montage. I'm picking up train. That's a very useful offensive spell with no element. It's a little bit on the weak side, but it's one of the few offensive spells that White Mage is going to get this early on. Why did I sell that? You know, whatever. I already sold it. Gonna keep going forward. White Mage does get access to Holy, but they don't learn it for quite a while, so for now, Drain is going to be one of their few offensive options. If you want them to use their magic stat, of course. Or if you paired White Mage up with something that learns offensive magic. I wouldn't recommend it that much, but you can do it, and they'd be able to utilize that magic stat pretty well. But yeah, shopping montage time. Since we got everyone in a secondary job now, I want to make sure I can equip them with their more optimal gear, and then have them swapping between each piece of gear they need, as is necessary. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, but I tried to react to it, but hopefully, I don't know if it came around. Anyway, in that cutscene, I tried to react to the funny part in that I liked, where Vaughn just killed the moment by asking, "Hey, do you even know how to use that thing?" Very hilarious. Oh, I didn't need that. But I might need the rest of that stuff. Just gonna sell the Iron Sword and the Javelin and the Short Bow. Even though I didn't need the Short Bow, it's still a good idea to pick that up for the parallel arrows. When they sell ammunition in the store like that, make sure you pick it up because it's, well, a ranged weapon, if they sell it in the store like that, make sure to pick it up because it usually comes with unique ammunition. And ammunition is never a bad thing. Ranged weapons allow you to hit elements that you otherwise wouldn't, so it's always handy to have it as much of it as on hand as possible. Lots of ammunitions can also get various status conditions. I think there's some bullets you can pick up that inflict silence, for example. Anyway, I'll be heading to Amal's weaponry first. We're also going to turn in that hunt we picked up before clearing the Tomb of Wraithwall. Here we are, Cheryl. Slain the Wyvern Lord, have you? You've done Rabernaster a great service, boy. After you'd set out, I thought I might have been overreacting just a touch after all, but there's naught to be gained from doubting now, is there? You've done a man's job. Here's your bounty. Take it with my thanks. Ooh. A new bow and a shell shield. The shell shield is kind of unique in that it has a permanent shell effect. I usually just end up selling it anyway because the evade chance on it is low, and yeah, shell, if I really wanted to use it, I can just use shell. Anyway, I'm gonna pick up a heavy lance for Vaughn to use later. Let's see, I got the elfin bow, so I don't need this longbow, right? Yeah, I just need to get the license for it later. Pinello is going to equip the Sirius. I haven't picked up any crossbows for Fran. She'll be fine without them. Bosch gets a... whatchamacallit? The Musk Stick does plus 13 for Ash. What does the Cypress Pole do? -4. Okay, so we'll sell that and buy one of those two. Actually, no, I want her to use mostly Matt. Yeah, no, what? It'd be a good idea to have the physical items on her, too. And yeah, I think that'll do it for weapons for now. Just gotta make sure I equip Pinello with the thing. I'm not sure if I should keep her maces and shields around. I kind of want her to stick to using guns. But now that we've got that taken care of, we can go buy armor for everyone. I don't know if he's going to have new armor, but I do know that I at least need to get some heavy armor for Vaughn. Yeah, don't need to buy any new stuff. Well, for anyone else, but Vaughn is definitely going to need to get out of his old light armor and get into the new stuff. And everything else is weaker, so let's just go ahead and sell that light armor. And 1 golden shield. Okay. And I still got lots of money. Let's go ahead and X that out here and see if there are any new spells or techniques for us to purchase. In the base game, it's a good idea to check up at Rabernaster every once in a while. After major story events, they usually expand all their inventories. I think there's a certain point where it caps, they hit a cap where they don't get anything new, but I have no idea when that is. In this version of the game, however, they actually hit that cap pretty quickly. I think this is the last time they get new items to sell throughout the rest of the game, so you don't need to check back as often here in Rabernaster. Everything you need to get that's new will be sold in different areas. See, there was no new magics, and 1 new technique. Traveler. Traveler is kind of interesting. It hits all enemies in range with an attack that deals damage based on the number of steps you've taken. So that number of steps is counted between uses of Traveler, and I think it caps out at about either 900 or 999. Or 99 or 999. So it can deal a lot of damage, but only at one time. I'm not entirely sure how to set up a gambit to use it. Sometimes I just use it to hit flying enemies, but it's only good for that one hit, and then you're better off pursuing other options. Most techniques are like that. They're either borderline useless or only good for one-time use. Excuse me. I was supposed to read that. Oh well. Keep up the splendid work, Kupo. Here you defeated a demon wall. Impressive, Kupo. The Society of Antiquaries send you this, with their compliments. Presented in gratitude for discoveries providing new insights into the times of King Wraithwall. 600 gil and a warp moat. So, you now command an Esper. Impressive, Kupo. Yurik sends you this, with his compliments. An epic tale embark I now to write, of you whose deeds give voice to silent muse. I don't know what arcanae are for. Gill Snapper. I have no idea what that is, but we're not hunting it yet. Anyway, now that it's raining in Giza, there actually should be a new hunt I think we can take on if you've been keeping up with them. I'm not too sure I want to do that yet. I don't know. Anyway, until we get to about, let's see, I think the name of the area is Mount Ber-Omises. I think until we get there, it's going to continue raining in Giza, and then after that point, it's going to switch every couple of hours. Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and call that an episode here. Next time on Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age, we'll be heading south through Giza and meeting up with the Garif like Fran suggested. In the meantime, don't forget to leave a like or a dislike, comment, and or subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Space Oyster, signing out.